battles make it hurt.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiging telas ng sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Upang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manluluping, di ka pasisigil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong bangaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magtitindig. Luman ang araw ng wala, bakit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling ko. Ang inigaya na pagkay mga aking, mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Heavenly Father, we praise and we glorify you, and we thank you for this wonderful day, Lord God, this team convention. Lord, you created all things so that you can reconcile them to yourself, Lord God, to reconcile your creation, Lord God, unto yourself. And this is what happened here in this team con. You have reconciled STEM and arts to something absolutely beautiful, Lord God. So Lord, Father, Abba, bless this event, Lord God. Bless the people that is involved here, Lord God, and bless the hearts of those who will attend this event, Lord God. Bless their dreams, bless their hopes, and we hope, Lord God, that they learn something and they take away something very good after this event. All this we pray in Jesus' name, amen.
These battles make it hurt.
A warm welcome to our time travelers. A warm greeting to our high school department head, Miss Abby Obre, our school directress, Miss Lizette Baman, fellow advisors, fellow teachers, students, parents, and our welcome speakers. Thank you for attending this afternoon. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Miss Joy Pavico and I have developed this STEAM convention to be the first of many events. What is STEAM? STEAM is STEM plus arts. In this day and age, every industry touches STEAM. And this afternoon, we are gonna show you what is STEAM, how is it affecting everyone, what our goals are, and our challenge to everybody who is here. When STEM and arts collide, we have the future. There are many educators who are pushing for STEAM, not just STEM, because arts is just as important as STEM in our current and future industries. STEM is the brain, and arts is the heart.
These battles make it hurt.
You will find STEAM in business, the game industry, the fashion industry, the animation industry, architecture, interior designs, movies and streaming platforms, the book industry, the content creation world, and so much more. Business and humanitarian activities need STEAM to reach their target audience. You could use social media and other targeted ads. Everything is just a touch of a button or a swipe of a finger nowadays. So I hope you stick around. We have contests, trivias, and of course, our panel of speakers who are professionals in the industry. And so, the challenge for everyone, especially our students, our challenge is for you to be good at any field in the STEAM industry. If you feel like you're not good enough, then get good. Get good enough to be out there. Study, watch some YouTube and even EduTalk videos. Research, be very creative, be very open to new knowledge. Join every workshop and every seminar that you can get because you are the future of our nation. You have to be so good that you put the Philippines back because we are so good. We are so good, we can do it. And we believe in you. You, our future students who are the future of our nation. You will be very good and you will carry our dreams and our hopes into the future. So thank you very much and welcome to our event.
Audio. Mike, no, your audio.
Hello, Tita Joy, and hello,
Hello.
everybody.
Hi, good afternoon.
Do you
I'm so
like my
excited to be
steampunk
here.
glasses?
Wow.
Yes, di ba? Napaka ano natin, decorated for the day. Yes,
Yeah, you're
so
so
welcome,
steampunk.
welcome, welcome everyone. I see some eyes there and some hearts and some thumbs up. Thank you, everyone. If you have a question or comments, please just put them in the comment box. We can see them. We are live in three platforms right now. So this is live in the SHS, the JHS, and the ECS group, or the Events and Customer Service group. So that is the one that's a little more public compared to our other two. So joining me right now is Teacher Joy Pavico, our STEM geek. So,
Yes, good
diba,
afternoon, everybody.
yes, when arts and STEM collide, we have STEAM.
So that's the two of us.
Yes,
Very steamy, a very steamy tandem.
yes. So everybody, don't be shy. We have some games where you can win some
Oh,
prizes. So
exciting.
yes, CFA has some what's this budget for our prizes. All right, so let me just tell you guys what's in store for the day. So we have a tiny icebreaker where they can win. I think we can pick at least three winners. I think three is a good number. And then we have a lot of trivias throughout the afternoon that you guys can win. So here is the thing, you have to be very fast on the keyboard and you have to type it in the comment box. All right. So should we ano po, Tita Joy? Should we let them do the first icebreaker? Tingnan
Okay,
natin
let's
how
do.
fast.
Let's do it.
Let's see how fast your fingers are. Okay, so here is the mechanics. Tita Joy will judge. Here is the
Oh my gosh.
mechanic. Oh, meron nang nag-comment. Sabi niya, wow daw.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so I hope our viewers are fast. Here is the thing. Let me show.
Ah, okay. Sige.
Ta-da! Okay, so do you see this? here
Yes.
at Make Code. I want you all to tune in. And then, I want you all to make something in 3 minutes. I'm not gonna tell you what you will do. In fact, you will explore that on your own because when you go to this site, you can do a lot of things. You can make a mini game in like a second. I tried it. It's very, it's very educational actually. And you guys are going to do something, whether it is a music sequence or a tapping game. But here's the thing: you can only do it in 3 minutes. All right? So go to this site, do something, anything, and you have to save it. You can save it and then get the link, share the link on the comment box, and then Tita Joy and I will look at it. The best three will get 50 pesos, Gcash or load, whichever you want. We'll get your details later. You can tell us your details and how you want your prize to be. So, are you guys ready? I'm going to set the timer. Starts in go. Okay, let me just go back here and let me just show na lang the banner. Here
By
it is. All
2:15
right,
finished.
there you guys go. Here is the code down here. It's makecode.microbit.org. You will do something, anything. I tried it. I actually played around with it. Me, who has zero coding experience, have done it. And yeah, so we will give them 3 minutes. The fastest three who actually make something that works, we will give them the 50 pesos. Diba? It's that easy. And in 3 minutes, you learn something. Okay, so while we are waiting for the 3 minutes, Tita Joy, why don't you tell us what's happening at 5 o'clock later after our SteamCon program proper?
Okay. At 5 o'clock later, we're going to show virtual space tour exploration. So we have our young space tour guides who will accompany you through the different Apollo missions and also the Artemis mission. So the Apollo missions happened some 50 years ago, and the Artemis mission is coming soon, and they are going to send the first women and men, people of color, and the next men back to the moon. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
exciting.
something to look forward to. I wonder
Yes.
who's funding the project. Is
I
it one of
wonder
our
too.
billionaires?
No, it's just the the simple STEM teachers.
Yes, diba? One day we hope maybe, I don't know, Elon Musk or Facebook or somebody would help us reach the children's goals into actually having an actual space
Yeah.
exploration.
In fact, our Artemis mission is think of sending them the first set of kids to space. And that's what they
Mm,
did on their own through a
yeah.
book. They also wrote a book about their
Wow.
Artemis mission. So
Now
they're the
they're doing
first
books.
kids. Yeah, they're first kids into the moon.
Something to look forward to, diba? So that's
Exactly.
interesting. Diba we're also
Yes.
gonna have a Diwata mission? Is it Diwata mission?
No, the Diwata one is no longer in function. We have Diwata 2 though. And maybe we will also explore the Philippine Space Agency, which is, an emerging agency now, similar to the NASA, but we still have to develop this. And we're working with the Japanese researchers. So this is in Japan.
Mm.
Yeah.
See, interesting. But hey, I think nahirapan yung ating mga viewers kasi biglang wala pang nag-send ng kanilang
Oo.
ano. Mahirap ba,
Ta-
guys?
Tapos na ang 3 minutes mo.
I'm sorry. Mahirap pa yung aking icebreaker.
Oo nga
I thought
eh,
it was ano.
na-break na eh.
Oo nga eh. That's okay. Ganito na lang. If you guys are able to do it within this ano, if you send it to the comment box, we will consider it. So balikan natin siya
Yes.
later.
Okay,
Yeah.
sige.
So today I'm just somebody says here, please extend the time. Okay po.
Up to the
Merong
up to the end. Up to the
meron
end
pong
of the
nag-message.
session.
Please extend the time. Okay, sige po. Yes po. We will extend the time. We'll extend the time until the end of the program. So the first three
Yes.
people, first three na lang to send in the comment box. Then we will get the first three, di ba? So we will
Yes.
tell you guys who our guests are today because some of them will be speaking and some of them will be in our panel. And some students have already sent their what do you call this questions ahead of time. In fact, a lot of the teachers who are in the STEAM field have been talking already. So marami na tayong madidiscuss later. Di pa nag-start ang ating panel, which is good. Don't be shy, kids. Maraming shy dyan. Naka-PM na lang po sa akin ang questions. Pero if if you want to speak to our panel, you can type it in the comment box. So this is actually a new event that we're trying. It is live. Although it is not a new type of event, but we're thinking that maybe we can reach a wider audience if we are live instead of in Zoom. Diba? So our first speaker today will be Miss Ria Lu from the game industry. For those who don't know, she's my eldest sister. She is the executive director of the Game Development Association of the Philippines. Our next speaker after that are actually a tandem, a dual tandem. And we already had them in CFA, wow, before the pandemic pa. So I've asked them to come and be our speakers ngayon because they are very good at their field. Miss Jonette Valenciano and Mr. Adrian Martinez. So they've been partners, collaborators, and now they are spouses. Um, they have been in the storytelling industry, the multimedia field, the game field. They're everywhere, and they will represent STEAM that is multi-field. So for those who want to try everything, this is or they are the couple for you, and they have a very good presentation for later. All right. Then we have Mr. Jared Navarro, who is actually one of our club teachers. So, Mr. Jared Navarro is from Digital Guru. He has a YouTube channel where he teaches short videos on how to do 3D, 2D little animations, how to record, how to use certain programs. So he has short videos like that. And now we have him as a club teacher teaching 3D animation. And our final speaker is somebody who's going to speak to us about robotics. His name is Patrice Liu. And if the name isn't a giveaway, yes, kapatid ko rin siya. See, he studied in Japan, and he's bringing some of his knowledge here. He also studied in La Salle and took his first master's degree in La Salle, and he will tell us a little bit about robotics because that is where the future is headed towards. Diba, Tita Joy?
Yes.
Steam field talaga kami.
Steam na steam.
Yes.
Very steamy siblings. Steamlings.
Steamlings. Yes. So, a lot of our teachers then, by the way, are part of the STEAM industry. And as I said kanina, it's not just STEM and arts. The STEAM, the combination of STEAM, actually touches a lot of industries, as in, so you could be in the ABM field and you're still touching Steam. You could be in Humes and yet you are heavily using Steam, diba? So, without further ado, let me um, give you our first speaker for the day. So, here we are.
So you want to be a game developer, but are afraid that it isn't a viable career choice. My name is Ria Lu. I'm the Executive Director of the Game Developers Association of the Philippines, and I'm here to tell you that game development is a viable industry. Let me show you why. Okay, so what I'd like to talk to you a little bit about is first, I'll tell you about the global industry, then I'll tell you about the state of the Philippine industry, and then we'll talk about trends and opportunities for you guys. So how big is the games market anyway? Last year, 2020, that was the height of the pandemic, right? A lot of the companies or a lot of the industries were losing money, but not the game industry. Actually, in 2020, the game industry made more money than it did in 2019. Last year, the global revenue for games reached a total of 174.9 billion US dollars. Now, is that a big amount of money? Yes, it is. But before I show you how big that is, let's talk about the breakdown of that 174.9 billion. Almost half of that comes from mobile games. And then around 22% of that comes from PC games. Around 29% comes from the console games like PlayStation, Switch, and Xbox. Now, to give you just to put in perspective how big 174.9 billion is, if you think of the film industry actually made $101 billion last year. Okay, so film industry being Hollywood, that also includes actually the Netflix stuff. So they actually made a really big amount of money. The music industry, you have Spotify, and the global music industry is such a big industry right now, especially with the Korean pop bands and of course your popular Western bands. But the music industry made 21.6 billion last year. So if you add that up, that's only 122.6 billion, which is still less than the game industry, less than how much the game industry made. So yes, the game industry made a lot of money last year. How big is that in terms of us in the Philippines or Asia Pacific? Out of the 174.9 billion, 74.8 billion comes from Asia Pacific. So that's a really large amount. And out of that 572 million comes from the Philippines. That's 0.33% of the global market, which is quite, well, you may think that it's not as big because it's less than 1%, but still quite big. The Philippine industry, however, is still quite small, admittedly. Okay, so if you think of that 572 million, that actually isn't the revenue that the Philippine game companies made, but rather the revenue made by companies from Filipino gamers. Yeah? Only 0.26% of games nowadays are made in the Philippines. That comes to about 1,000 games with about 400 studios. So each studio made an average of about 1.38, or we made about 1.38 million dollars in total, the 400 studios, from that 174.9 billion. So it's kind of small. Think about it. It's only about 172,500 per year. But the good news is the Asia Pacific region is one of the fastest growing markets, and not just that, it is currently the largest market in gaming right now. So there's nowhere to go but up for that. Now, in terms of original games, like I mentioned, if we add it up, it may not be a very big number. So in 2020, we made about 1.38 million US dollars. That's about 0.0008% market share, which is not a very big amount, but we're trying to change that, and we need more people in the industry to help increase that number. Outsource, however, is a different matter because for outsource, we have been growing. So this year, outsource for the Philippine game industry reached 150 million US dollars. That's a very big jump from our 2015 revenue of $24 million. So that's a big amount of growth. Full-time employees, not very much. We kind of stagnated at 4,000 full-time employees, but that only means that the game industry actually makes more money per employee than a lot of other industry. Also, aside from the full-time employees here, what's not counted are actually the consultants and freelancers, which the game industry has a lot of also. But as you can see, it is quite a good amount. It made quite a good amount of revenue for an industry that's supposed to be just laro, right? But it's not. We make money out of it. Now, who are these players in the industry right now? So the Game Developers Association actually has around 30 studios in Manila. They are involved in, for outsource, they're involved in art asset outsourcing, which is creating the game art for the games. Like if you are familiar with games like Witcher, Gears of War, Uncharted, Last of Us, the art of those games some of them are done here in the Philippines. If you know Red Dead Redemption, some of the Batman games, the motion capture cleanup is done here. We have game support, so a lot of there are several Korean games whose support is being done here in the Philippines, and of course we have development. We usually develop mobile games here in the Philippines, and then a few of our studios actually also make console. We also do original IPs, so we do a lot of original games on mobile, some on PC, and nowadays some on console. There are about 6 companies in the Philippines that are larger than 100 people, but the average of the rest is around 20. Still, is it a good thing to have a small company? Yes, like I mentioned, we even if the numbers are small in terms of employees, the revenue that the game company makes per employee, particularly on the outsource side, is one of the higher ones. So trend, what is the trend of gaming nowadays? Well, mobile is still the largest segment. And there's a growing type of game right now called hyper casual games that they say are best for new players, for players who do not identify as gamers to get into gaming. Usually hyper casual games are a new thing for them to get into. Nowadays, especially with the pandemic, gaming is sometimes treated like social media, where gamers don't just go to the games to play, but they go to the games to meet their friends. Virtual reality is a thing now, especially for events and education because of COVID. And then some of the trends that are happening right now is games as a service, which means instead of you paying per item in a game, you just subscribe, or a live service game. So it's same, it's like a subscription model. That's also another thing that's trending in the game industry right now. So what are your opportunities as students? Okay, so you basically have 2. One is you can work for the studios. You can be a 3D asset creator. You can be a game developer. You can be a game support agent, which is for support for games. Or you can set up your own studio. Like I mentioned, there's only about 400 game studios that make their own games here right now, but that is something that we are trying to push more entrepreneurs, for more entrepreneurs to set up their own studios to help grow this industry. So if you intend to set up your own studio, there's also 2 options. You can either create an outsourced game studio, or you can create a studio that does original games. So these are some of the opportunities that are waiting for you in the game industry. And so I encourage you guys to come into the game industry and really help us grow this this Philippine game industry, which is really a global industry. Okay, thank you very much.
Alrighty. Thank you very much, Noah Hernandez. So, thank you, JHS team. You guys are actually the best. So, our entertainment for this afternoon will be coming from the junior high school department. We'll see a lot more of them later, and everybody has a different talent to showcase. So, diba, I hope you guys stick around. Okay, so we have one contestant already for her code breaker. Let's see if I can share it. Let me share my screen so you could see Chrome tab. Here we go. All right, so play. Okay, so let's do that again. Play ulit. Play. Okay, so it's that simple. So Eiley made what's this a tune using very simple programming techniques where you can find,
Whoa.
yes, sayang three chords lang siya. Maybe next time we can do something a little more harder, but that's okay. Diba? That's a great way of ano.
It's a
Here,
good
Eiley says
try,
she used the keys A and B lang daw. Oh, okay.
but she has three notes, no? Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll play that some more later. So yeah, I'm going to write your name here para hindi ko makalimutan. Eiley is now one of our winners. Since she's in my class, I will contact her later so she can get her prize.
Okay, good.
But we have
Congratulations.
yay. So we have two more who will submit, and then after that, yeah, the first three lang ang ating a-accept, di ba? So it's that simple. They have to just play around with that. Because right now, you do have an edge if you know simple programming techniques. So, okay. So, tada, meron nang nagka-congratulate. Thank you, everybody. Miss Leia is here, who is our Miss Leia Marie La Pastora is our moderator for the SHS comment group. Thank you, Miss Marie.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so let's have a trivia muna before we go to our next speaker. Diba? Okay. Ito magugustuhan niyo to, Tita Joy. Pero wag
Talaga.
niyong sabihin yung answer ha. Ipapag-guess natin sa ating mga audience.
Okay.
Yes. So trivia number one. Unahan to. Unahan to sa comment box. So we will look at the comment box. First person who guessed it right will get 20 pesos load or Gcash. So tell us which one you want, load or Gcash. Okay. Question number one. Which of Newton's laws state that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction?
Mm.
Alam, Tita Joy. Shh, Tita Joy.
I know the answer. I know the answer.
Win the 20 pesos, guys. Which of Newton's law states that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction? In other words, kung nag-submit kayo ng homework na pangit, ang reaction ng teacher pangit din. Just kidding. All right. May ka pang question natin. Biglang walang
Oh,
gustong magsagot.
meron na answer. May
Eiley
sumagot na.
again! Now I owe you 70 pesos. Are you intending to win everything today?
Ang galing naman ni Alice's. Espeha.
Yes.
Okay,
All right. Let
great.
me put that. Okay. Now, Eiley, give chance to others. One more trivia. One more trivia. Okay. Let's go to the world of arts. Diba? Kanina nandun tayo sa science. Ngayon, we are going to the world of arts. Eileen, you're not allowed to answer this because we took this up in class. So you're not allowed to.
Anymore.
You're not allowed. Not allowed. Okay. Going to the field of arts. What is the most expensive painting ever sold? Not insured. Iba yung insured, iba yung sold. This one is the most expensive painting ever sold. It was sold recently in 2017. I see your face, Eileen. You're not allowed because you know the answer. She's a no. She knows the answer. Nope. Let's get naman somebody. Oh, here somebody got it.
Oh,
Rebelinda.
oh my
Are you
goodness.
a mom or are you a student? Yeah, I
She's
will get in touch with you later and
she's
I will
one of
get
our
more.
she's one of
Yes.
our geeks.
Oh, Tita Joy recognized you. Okay, let me write your name. Rebelinda Narsolis.
My goodness, I am so proud of you, Rebelinda.
Daughter daw.
Yun nga, yun nga. Yung daughter.
Sorry, Marie Gabrielle. Nauna si Rebelinda. Okay, so don't forget that we have more questions. Ito na lang, sige. At least give chance. Tingnan natin, Marie, if you can answer this. Uh, how much was it sold for?
Whoa. I don't know.
Uh, okay. Please.
Poor girl.
Okay, so we have more. We have more questions, but just so everyone knows how much it got sold in 2017.
Oh,
Oh, no.
there.
She did. She did. No.
Correct.
Okay. Yes, it is correct. It's 450.3 million US dollars. So,
Whoa.
yes, thank you. It's okay. The dollars is enough. I'm going to write your name. Mm, Marie Gabrielle. I'll contact you later so I'll get your number. Marie.
Marie Gabriela. Yeah.
All right. Is she one of your students, Tita Joy?
No.
Okay. Yay, we have other people, not just our students. All right, sige. Okay, so we have more trivia questions pertaining to science and arts mamaya. So hold on to it. We have more. Don't worry. So for now, let me just share you
Ay,
something from.
sandali.
Huh?
She's my student now. I am sorry.
I'm your
Naman, Teacher
student,
Joy.
ma.
I'm sorry. Teacher Joy has memory gaps.
Okay, student pala ni Tita Jai. Okay, so all right. Sorry guys, sometimes we don't recognize kasi your name on Facebook. But
Yeah.
oh no, me. Oh my student. Is this
Okay.
Hannah? Who is Marie? Sorry, which student of mine are you?
I mean arts. Arts daw.
Hannah. Is this Hannah? Yes, yes, sorry. Because I know her in class as Hannah. All right,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. Forgiven,
All right.
forgiven.
All right, I'll contact you later. Let me write that down. It's Hannah.
Oof. Kawawa man si Iris is. Iris, you're still with us, ha? Don't leave
Oh,
us. We love you.
Tita Joy, okay itong si Ailie kasi ang kanyang Earth and Life Science last year is very mataas. You can ask you can ask si Tito Roy, 'di ba?
Oh.
So we
Mm.
expect a lot from you. Just kidding.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get
So next,
going.
we will share a little something from our speaker. Our speaker next is what's his name? Jared Navarro, who is our 3D clubs teacher. And then after that, we have a video shared to us by one of our JHS students named Carl Dael Petalino. So he will be talking about climate change because that is actually one of the things that we have to be talking about right now. But they're saying we are a ticking time bomb here. So without further ado, let me share to you our speaker.
Today, everyone is interconnected through the internet and social media. People share their ideas from all across the world, and each one is sharing them through their own perspectives. Being able to communicate effectively has never been more important. Multimedia artists have the superpower to be expert communicators. They can take an idea and transform them to these various mediums. Whether it be 3D animation, visual effects, video editing, Photoshop, drawing, or photography, we are definitely witnessing a renaissance of art in a digitally connected world. And I'm really excited to guide you through this journey. Hi guys, kumusta? Ako si Gerard, ang iyong digital guro. Para sa courses ko, tuturuan ko kayo kung paano mag-basic 3D animation.
So, kung ready na kayo, tara, magsimula na tayo.
So that was Teacher Gerard. A little something lang. Hahabol po siya mamaya. So if you have questions, you can put them in the comments, or you can message me, or you can message him, and we'll tackle that later. For now, let's show this video by Carl Dael Petalino. So Carl, thank you for this video.
Climate change. Ang climate change ay anumang sistematikang pagbabago sa pangmatagalang statistika ng mga elementong panglima gaya ng temperatura, galaw, o porosyon ng hangin na nananatili sa loob ng mahabang panahon. Nakaapekto ito sa maraming mga bansa at buhay, at maraming tao ang sumusubok na bawasan ang epekto at tuluyang ihinto ang pagbabago ng klima. Maraming mga sanhi sa pagbabago ng klima, tulad ng pagsunog ng mga fossil fuel tulad ng langis at carbon, pagpapalabas ng mga chlorofluorocarbons, pagpuputol ng mga puno, at walang habas na pagtatapon ng mga basura. Sinubukan ng mga tao na bawasan ang mga emissions ng GHG. Ngunit sa halip ay nadagdagan ang mga emissions ng GHG. Ang mga halimbawa ay cap and trade, carbon capture and storage, paggamit ng enerhiyang nuclear, at geoengineering. Ang mga epekto ng pagbabago ng klima ay nagwawagsak. Ang mga halimbawa ay tagtulot, pagbaha at mga super typhoon, pagkasira ng tirahan ng mga hayop, pagkalat ng mga sakit, pagkatuna ng mga niyeba sa Arctic, mas tumitindi ang asida sa mga karagatan, pollution sa hangin, at heatwave. Ang mga samahan tulad ng IPCC at UNFCCC ay sumusubok na malutas ang problema ng pagbabago ng klima. At sa politika, ipinapatupad ang mga patakaran upang mabawasan ang epekto ng pagbabago ng klima. Ang mga halimbawa ay ang Climate Change Act of 2009, Clean Air Act of 1999, ipagbawal ang pagsusunog ng mga fossil fuel, magpapata ng buwis sa paggagamit ng carbon, at iba pa. Ang mundo ay maaaring nagdurusa sa pagbabago ng klima ngayon. Ngunit may mga paraan na makakatulong tayong lahat upang mabawasan ang mga epekto ng pagbabago ng klima. Maaari naming patayin ang mga ilaw electronics kapag hindi ginagamit. Maaari naming gamitin ng mga reusable bags. Makakabili tayo ng eco-friendly electronics. Maaari nating magamit ang telekomunikasyon para sa trabaho. Maaari nating iboto ang mga politiko na tumutugon at iba pa. Makakatulong tayo sa mundo kahit sa kaunting kilos ng kabayanihan.
All right. Thank you very much, Carl Dael Petalino. Let me just. Okay. So thank you, everybody, for that. Let's have one more trivia before we go on to our next speaker. Where is my partner in crime? Here we go. So, hello again, Tita Joy. It's
Hello.
another trivia.
Okay.
Okay. All right. This time it's a science question.
Okay.
Okay, so pabilisan guys. Pabilisan. What is the boiling point of water? In Celsius, please. What is the boiling point of water? So kung kayo nagluluto ng itlog or noodles, what is the boiling point of water?
Pag sa test yan, perfect score. Yay! We have already one. Sarina.
Minauna. Sorry,
Sarina
Minauna.
Angela Veloria. Is this the one?
Yes, let me write your name. Zarina. Okay.
Sarina, yes.
I think I noticed your name in clubs. Are you in clubs, Zarina? Serena Angela.
Very
Veloria.
good, Sarina. Ang
Yay.
galing ng teacher mo siguro, no?
I'll get your details later so I can send your prize. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so the
Painting
others.
club daw. Painting
Oh,
club
painting
daw siya.
club. Yes, you are in Miss Criselle's club. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'll look for I'll PM you later.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, so you can get your either Gcash or load if you want. Okay, so sorry, I have some messages here. Okay, thank you everybody. So our next speaker is nandito na sila, but they are in our backstage. But they have sent us a nice video presentation.
Good,
Diba?
good.
So yes, I wait before we introduce Miss Janet and Mr. Adrian. Ano pa pala? Robotics. So
Oh,
yes,
si
so we'll have
kapatid.
robotics first, and then we'll have Janet and Adrian. Pagadiretso ang ating Q&A later. So I already have some prior questions for them, and if you guys have questions, you can use the comment box, and we will flash your messages, and our panel will um, answer them or help you answer them. Alrighty. So here is all about robotics. So Patrice Lu is a professor in Benilde and LaSalle, but I think this term LaSalle only. And he has studied a little bit of robotics in Japan, but he studied most of his life in what's this? LaSalle. How do I send the microbits? Tanong ni Rebelinda. Oh, that's simple. Here in the comment box. So after you make the what's this program, there is a share button there, and then copy link and then post it here in the comment box. All right. So we'll wait for that,
Okay.
and while we're waiting for that, we will play the video that our speaker sent.
Okay. Robotics.
Yes.
Good day, students. My name is Patrice Lu, a teacher at De La Salle University, College of Computer Science. And today, I would like to talk to you about robotics. Robotics' goal is to use hardware and software, engineering and computer science, to create robots. These robots will allow to assist us in a variety of different activities to make life better. It may not be quite as mature here in the Philippines, but it is very much mature in other countries. Take, for example, Japan. Japan has robots for a variety of purposes. They have robots that can cook food, robots for assembly, different roles in manufacturing, and so on. Robotics is a great technology, for automation. In the Philippines, again, not quite as mature, but it is slowly rising. There are a lot of things in the Philippines that teach, or a lot of institutions that teach robotics in smaller settings, though not typically like what you see abroad, but it is starting. We see different institutions teach small applications through Lego Mindstorm and the Arduino. So it is a rising field. Here, though, in colleges, we see it in the engineering departments and computer science departments. And slowly but surely, these departments are catching up to the innovations of robotics and are slowly taking these things here. So this is a field with much abundance in the future. But why should you take it? Well, as I already said before, there's a lot of applications and there's a lot of opportunities in the future. Even if you don't go into robotics, the engineering and computer science sides in themselves have so many applications, and that's very much used in the industry today. So please consider looking at pursuing studies in robotics, or at least the neighboring fields of it that lead towards a career in robotics. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so Tita Joy, we have another entry.
Mm-mm.
So let me share that muna before we do another trivia. All right. So this looks so different. Let's play this.
Mm.
So I think she's trying to simulate the song Black Parade. So
Oh,
we
is
can
that
look
it?
at her code. Wow, talagang
Wow.
may effort. Wow. All right. See how simple that was.
Yeah.
So you can make your own here at Microbit. This is actually it's this simple to do. So there are ready commands that you can just drag and drop. Click, 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 and you tell it what to do. Play a tone, click something, do a beat or two. So it's this simple. The one that makes music is the simplest one, but there are other things that you can do in this app. So this is the one, microbit.org.
Let's see. Okay.
All right. So now, talagang nagkukwenta na ako eh. How much do I owe you? All right. So we will send you your load in a bit. Let me just write your name here. All righty. Yeah. So one more.
Congratulations, Rebelinda.
One more, and then we will close that already. So tatlo lang. We're just looking for three. Diba? Beat nyo
Okay.
yon.
One more.
Okay. So let's have another trivia. Let's win another trivia. Okay. I
Oh,
hope
in the
ready na kayo
arts.
guys. Let's go to the arts. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the arts. Mhm. This one is interesting, and I hope a lot of people can get this. So, pabilisan, remember, pabilisan, ahem. What are NFTs? What are NFTs? What does NFT stand for? That's actually a very new thing. I only heard about it just this COVID time. It's a new way of selling one of a kind artworks. So, what does NFT stand for? Pabilisan. Diba?
Mm.
Napapaisip na sila. What
Mm.
is NFT? Let's see our comment box. Thank you. And this is from Miss Marila Pastora. You are welcome. All right. Oh, aha. Mm-hmm. Meron, oh, Howard, sorry, may nauna.
Wow.
Okay,
Whoa.
so let me just see kung kanino galing tong name. Let me refresh my pages because I have somebody here, but I don't see your name. May I have your name, Facebook user who sent at exactly 3 o'clock p.m. Because I cannot I can't see your name. I'm trying to here it is. Oh, I see, I see. Is this Edwill? Let's show that. Edwill. Yes, it is Edwill. Thank you. Sorry, I did not see your name because it only says here Facebook user. Sorry, Howard. Pabilisan lang tayo later, okay? So let me write Ed. Oh, Edwill. She is one of our contestants in our costume contest. Let me
Oh.
write this down. Edwill. Thank you. Yes, that is correct. Non-fungible tokens. So once you buy that, you are the owner of the artwork. In other words, the programs will make sure that the artwork that you have cannot be replicated.
Oh.
So yeah, that is bago po yan, Tita Joy, in the art world. It's called
Akala
NFT.
ko it
Yeah.
has something to do with fungi or something like that. Fungi.
Hindi po. Non-fungible tokens. All right, one last before we go to Janet and Adrian. Okay, here ha, ito. Pabilisan, sorry guys. Ito, if you can Google this as fast as you can. Pero my numbers are coming from last night, so I'm pretty confident that this is the whoever gets to closest number wins. Pero pabilisan. How many Netflix subscribers do we have up to 2021 quarter 2?
Quarter
Quarter 2
two.
2021.
Oh my
How
goodness.
many Netflix subscriber globally are there? And malaki na siya. When I saw the number, I couldn't believe it. Paid subscriber, guys. Paid
Oh
subscriber.
my. So
Hindi
they must be
kasama yung
very
mga...
rich.
Yes. No.
Mer
We
meron
have...
pa bang ganong number?
Di pa naman. Sorry, lampas na po. Hindi pa naman ganitong number. Okay, so we have another one. Oh, who are you, Facebook user?
At 304? The one at 304?
Hindi po. The correct number is this one. Facebook user, sino ikaw? May I have your name? Or I'm going to have to... Howard, no, maliit pa yung 1.5. This is the correct number. So as of as of what's this quarter two, 2021 this year, it is 209 paid subscribers. So let me just trace your
200
name.
million. Million. You forgot the
Yes.
million.
Uh-oh. Wait. I'm trying to trace kasi there's the comments when it's out. Hindi ko na makikita. So mm, 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 mm. Okay. Chloe pa lang nag-ano kanina, the 209. Thank you, Chloe. Let me write that down. Alam yung interested sila sa Netflix, di ba? Kasi alam nila yung numbers.
Mhm.
192. That was last year. Di ba? This year,
Oh,
this for as of quarter two, it is now
wow.
209 million. Di ba? Wow.
Goodness.
Oh, you said siya daw yung kanina, yung 304. Okay, so let me write that. Sige, Yul, I will give it to you. Okay. Don't worry. Marami pa tayong question. Ito, one more. Para naman may chance pa sila. Okay. Let's go to science. Mamaya tayo sa art. Science tayo ngayon. How many bones does a shark have? How many bones does a shark have? Sino mahilig ng Jaws? How many bones does the shark have?
I did not teach that.
I thought it was pretty interesting kasi when I was like trying to figure out
Yeah.
trivia questions kagabi.
Unbelievable, no?
Oh, okay. Sino si Facebook user ng 307? Here. Sorry, nauna si ito. Whoever you are who answered
Ah,
at 307, that is correct. Sharks have no bones.
nauna kay Howard na naman.
Sorry, Howard, naunahan ka.
Keep on
Is this
trying,
you,
Howard.
Gian? I'm looking at the ano. Is this you, Gian? Or no? Hindi. Sino ba to? Sorry, ang bilis ng comments dito sa JHS. Sa SHS pala to. Na hindi ko na hindi ko ma-scroll up anymore.
At 307, yun, Facebook user, sharks have no bones.
Whoever posted at this one. Whoever posted at 307. Okay.
Before
So,
Howard. Where
si Gian
Howard.
daw.
Hmm.
Oh, nagsabay sila. Si Gian and si Edwill.
Hmm?
Edwill, let's give chance to others. Bigay natin kay Gian. Okay, Gian. Okay, so don't worry, we have more.
Yeah.
Okay, for now, oh, by the way, nag-comment ang ating panel, ang ating board of expert. It depends how many animals it ate that day. Okay, alrighty. So, yeah. So, everybody who's here, we have a treat for you. Although ang aking here says only 16 or 18 ang viewers, I don't think that's very accurate because naka-open lahat ng aking browsers. We are actually live in 3 groups and mukhang maraming watchers from each. So, hindi niya tina-track how many each have. Iba-iba siya. So, sorry guys, hindi pa ako masyadong um, bihasa in using StreamYard, but I will learn because we are in the STEAM industry. Okay, so we are going to listen to Miss Janet Valenciano and Mr. Adrian Martinez, and after that, we will have our panel discussion. Then, after our panel discussion, don't worry, we'll have more trivia games and we will show you guys the contestants for our Steampunk Maria Clara and Steampunk Jose Rizal. Mawawaw kayo guys. Alrighty, without further ado, let me introduce our speakers. Jonette and Adrian have been partners and collaborators for over 3 years now. They share a love for storytelling and are fans of science fiction and fantasy, which they consume in copious amounts. In this heady mix, they weave in issues such as equality, socialism, anarchism, which makes their passion projects an acquired taste. To pave their way in this world, they freelance as game lore writers. Diba? Okay, so welcome our speakers.
Hi and good day, everyone. This is Jeanette Valenciano.
And this is Adrian Martinez. And we are professional game lore writers. And we've been asked to talk about why Steam will rule the world.
We are writers both for video games and for tabletop role-playing games.
Yeah, that's how we pay the bills, keep the lights on, and put food on the table.
Okay.
Before we do anything else, let's define what the acronym STEAM actually means. So S stands for
Science,
T,
technology,
E,
engineering,
A,
art, very important,
and M.
mathematics.
Alright, we're going to focus primarily on the A, on art. But before that, let's talk about how the world we currently live in was created by Steam. That world can be summarized in one word: the internet. So the internet can be considered to be the confluence of science, technology, engineering, definitely mathematics, and as it grew, art.
There's a very good chance that some of y'all folks out there pretty much were born into the internet, and we really do sincerely think you guys are so lucky to have the internet, at your fingertips. You are natives to this wonderful crazy place online.
We older folk call you digital natives.
Yes, and you guys are incredibly lucky, sincerely. And we are really excited for all the possibilities you have at your fingertips.
What we do here is go back.
One of the fantastic things about the internet that we would really like to highlight is communication in itself. Whether it's being able to send email or
short messages
on chat, or even giving
TikTok.
a phone call, or even TikTok, yes, okay, or even giving calling someone up from halfway around the world on the internet. Back then a phone call would cost a fortune. But now it's practically free. Also,
people can do today what was considered science fiction when I was a teenager.
Watch Star Trek. A lot of the things that we enjoy nowadays were first featured there. So, also, you now have the possibility of looking for jobs, looking for scholarships from the comfort of your own bedroom. Back then, we had to scour literal job boards and vie for very, very special places and be Dean's Listers just to have a tenth of a chance at stuff like this. But now, we have the internet.
The internet literally puts everything at your fingertips, and that saves you a lot of time. You're able to find facts to back up your research.
Yes.
You're able to find tools to help you with your work. You're able to find guidance from experts, which back then, again, as my time as a reference, were Herculean things.
Think about some of your favorite informative YouTube channels, especially the ones that are very well researched. There's a very good chance that they found that information off the internet because some university or some scientific journals put their studies, their literature online for easy access to everyone.
And given today's ecology, you can watch anything that you're interested in at any time.
Hello, Netflix,
Net-
Curiosity Stream,
YouTube,
Disney Plus.
Nebula,
Yes.
right? All those things. So why are we emphasizing this? The next thing that shaped our world is the pandemic.
Boy, that hit hard 2020.
Yeah, that forced everybody to hunker down in their place, in their homes, and not go out. And that would have limited human interaction and the access to resources that they would have needed to do their work. But guess what? Because of Steam and the internet, people have been able to use that time to be creative. They can make music, they can educate themselves, they can look for instruction manuals and instructors.
Heck, they can even look for better jobs.
Which they have been doing actually. But the main point is the pandemic has emphasized how powerful the internet is and how dependent we have become on it. The internet has literally become a lifeline for certain people. It's kept them alive.
Not to mention, it's brought certain different kinds of people together to create amazing things. Like, because of the internet, we can actually reach out to people from across the globe, from all over, and say, hey, let's make a movie together through Zoom. Hey, let's collaborate and make a song.
Soon may the weatherman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
Or let's live cast an online tabletop role-playing event.
Yeah. Ironically, the pandemic, which isolated us, allowed us to reach out to people who we normally would not interact with or spend the time with. Now let's talk about jobs. Jeanette mentioned that you can look for jobs from the comfort of your own home, and a lot of people have been doing that, and they're discovering that corporations which used to vehemently claim that no, you can't do your work from home, suddenly allow yourself to do that, exactly that. The second thing is that other people found that freelance work was also an option, again because of the internet. Now, that's where Jeanette and I and my experience come in. We are freelancers and we work from home and we write stuff for people who hire us on a per project basis. This has given us certain freedoms that corporate employment doesn't. 1, we get to choose our hours. 2, we get to choose our clients. And the latter is very, very important, and I'll get to that into a bit. Now, freelance work is an option. I'll tell you right now, it's not for everybody.
It's great when you want freedom and you can wield responsibility over yourself. It's not so great when you want something, when you want income on a regular basis. But I will tell you that you can actually have a regular income if you know how to manage your time, manage your energy well. So that's still something within your capabilities.
Now keep in mind that the internet is also a vast distribution system. This makes it very appealing for those of you who want to go indie.
Yeah.
Make your own stuff. Make your own games, make your own art, make your own stories, because you can distribute it easily on the internet.
Because of the internet, there are no more gatekeepers. I mean, back then, you had to, whenever you had a game concept, you had to bring it to a big corporation like Blizzard or EA Games or whatever, present it to them, and if they liked it, fantastic. If not, sorry. But now, you can actually, if you have the wherewithal and the energy for it, you could actually create your own games, code your own games, compose your own music. I mean, hello, Stardew Valley is an excellent example of this. We also have independent ways to publish. You have Drive Through RPG, you have itch.io, you have even Gumroad. There are so many ways to get your creative work out there.
Now, speaking of creative work, STEAM includes A, stands
Art.
for art,
Mhm.
and I'd like to mention
Emphasize.
something, emphasize A for this talk. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics, their value in the creation of the internet is self-evident. But art, well, art is special. Science helps you understand the world. Technology gives you the framework to be able to move into the world. Engineering helps you invent and improve those tools. And mathematics is the language with which we understand the world. But art is special. Art is what makes you see the possibilities of the world.
It humanizes things.
It humanizes things. And if you were to make use of the internet, I would hope that you'd pay special attention to the art part, where you look at the human part of how the internet and the science, technology, engineering, and math affects the human experience. That's for you to discover and decide. So, the beginning of the talk, we were going to answer the question, why STEAM will rule the world? Well, actually, it already does. And we hope that you'll contribute to using STEAM to make the world a better place.
And it's really lovely to see a number of young folks out there already leading the charge in creating a lot of independent work and at a grassroots level too. It really brings to question what it is to be Filipino, what it is to be someone young in this time and place.
We'll cite those in the comments section.
It really is an exciting time for you guys, and I cannot underscore how much we are cheering for you.
So we're cheering for you. Thank you for listening to us.
Thank you so much, and well, we hope you got something fun and something good out of this talk.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Hi. Wonderful presentation. Teacher Maita, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
That was a
Okay,
wonderful
okay.
couple, you know.
Yes, so we will be bringing them on the screen. Here they are.
Wow.
Yay! Oops.
Janet and Adrian.
Hi! Sorry, hold on. Good morning! No, I'm kidding. Okay, we just need to unput the camera. Hold on. But
All
yes,
right.
thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. And oh, okay. So this is from one of our Facebook user. Hi.
Hold on, let's
Okay.
we're
We
presentable
have
naman.
yeah, there we
Hi.
go. Hello. So for those who don't know, and I think graduate na kasi yung batch na yon, we had Adrian and Jonet over in Obispado. That was before the pandemic pa, right? And it was our career day. Yay!
Yay! Yep.
Actually, Tita Joy and I are trying to pull in more kids into STEAM because
Yes,
if they are going into any of those fields, they can either take arts or they can take STEM, diba? Whichever they feel like. Diba? So yay, we are all in the same field.
Yay!
Yes, yes. I would just
So
like
can
to
I?
ask,
Mm-hmm.
but uh, do you earn money when you put out, let's say, a project like a book or something? Can you earn if you put it online like that, or how do you earn?
That is an excellent question po. Well, I think yes, we do. Well, so far we still have to publish an ebook online. AD has his own top secret project going on. And I'm just very proud of him because of that. And on my end naman, I am also taking care to finalize certain papers just so that I can finally get my own comic book out on PenLab.
Just keep in mind that there are different models now simply because of the existence of the internet. Anything that is anything that can be reproduced um, can be distributed instantaneously by the internet. And
Yes.
any economic system that relies on scarcity will be undermined by that. You might have laws that talk about IP rights,
Mm.
intellectual property rights, and make it even difficult to make copies like non fungible tokens. But the reality is the internet is a distribution system.
Mm-hmm.
And when it becomes a distribution system, you will have to look for ways to compensate the creator of the item. And right now, what I noticed is um, people are starting to accept more than just money as compensation. In other communities, for example, the open source community, they make things and give them away for free. But what people don't realize is that they depend on the free resources that others have made for them to make their own things.
Yeah.
Now, that really depends on your perspective. It's very hard to wrap around, especially if you're thinking purely of in terms of labor and wage. Those are still those that's still valid,
Mhm.
but the internet opens up more opportunities than just simply a labor and wage transaction.
I think one excellent example of this, can we safely say that this is what we call the gift economy?
Yeah.
Okay. One cute example of this actually is, di ba, in the video earlier, we mentioned Stardew Valley. And that's a wonderful, wonderful game because when you think about it, Eric Baroni, the creator, practically taught himself to make everything, the music, the visuals, the animation, the coding, everything. And he actually also made it possible for modders, for people who want to create mods to add to the game, for them to contribute. And there's actually a very robust community around it. So, Stardew Valley kasi is a farming game. It's very pleasant. It's very calming. So what some modders will do is, oh, I created this mod that introduces more plants and vegetables in case you want to add it, or oh, I introduced more interesting weather conditions so that you can add it, or I made more characters so that you can have more fun interactions in the game. And before you know it, the game actually became more and more complex, and you can customize it according to what experience you want. So that's one beautiful thing I think that the gift economy can do. Now, if you can share what you know or share what you can contribute, it actually creates it totally adds up so that it's a what's the phrase for it? It's a greater than the sum of its parts.
Yeah,
Yun.
it's a synergy.
Yun.
So, back to Teacher Joy's question: do you earn money?
Do we earn money?
Strictly speaking, it's a it's a slog.
Yeah.
We know we'll never get rich from it, but at the same time,
We're not gonna be Scrooge McDuck swimming in gold.
yeah,
but-
we're not going to be Jeff Bezos, not by a long shot. No. But we have discovered people who support us.
And I think that once that becomes normalized, that and I believe that the current generation that you're teaching will begin to demand that sort of economic relationship,
That sort of support.
then they will be more comfortable. We're experiencing stress because we belong to the generation that was indoctrinated with you have to get a job, you have to get paid, you have to get benefits. But we're transitioning into a different, well, my opinion, we're transitioning into a different set of relationships, and the pandemic is accelerating that.
Yeah. So we're very hopeful for we're still very hopeful. We're looking up to we're actually young. Pretty much like what I said, we're rooting for your students, and the next generation. So
Yes, yes.
Yes. Just so
ayun.
you guys know about Stardew Valley, marami yung mga never mind, not for kids.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we know
yeah,
that. We
yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
Nagkaintindihan sila. Ako, what are you
Kasi
talking
di na
about?
siya- I will explain later.
Okay, fine.
But let's just say it started as a farming game and it kind of grew
Grew
big and
went
complex.
in a lot of different directions.
some
So
of them, some of them not mentionable in polite company.
yeah, but some of them more wholesome and
Yeah.
more appealing.
But
And
compared to Farmville, you can get married in the game.
yeah,
You can
yeah,
have
you can
children
really
in the game.
have kids, yeah,
And then
You
when
can
your children grow
no,
up, you set them in the farm to
yeah,
work.
actually that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, yeah.
The reason I asked about the question was because my club students they produce books, storybooks, which I'd like to enhance. And like I don't want to leave those books just there, stuck up in the storage folder. I
Yeah.
want them out, in a manner that it could be like a book that could be read by others. That so and think of what to do with their stories. Very interesting
You know
stories.
to take care of that question. Huh?
It really depends as to what kind of format your students want to turn them into. Because if they want them, let's say for example, if they prefer that they stay as like long form prose, then definitely we can. There are avenues for that. Like I think Amazon, it's okay. We can sell ebooks on Amazon, right?
Yep.
Tama. And then, if let's say at some point, like ako po, at some point, I started wondering, what if I turn my comic into a visual novel?
Hmm.
And
That's a good idea.
essentially you turn it into a game where you give the reader different choices, and the choices really do affect the different ways that the story can transform.
In my generation, they were called choose your own adventure books.
Exactly. There you go. So and now we have a lot of ways to distribute that. If you look po on itch.io, there are actually a lot of very good visual novels with very compelling stories that are for free. There are some that may cost a small amount of money, but that's also more, it depends din po kasi on how the creator wants to price it. Like sometimes they'll go, okay, I spent a lot of time and effort on it. I want to see my investments come back. So I will maybe price it this way. So medyo mahal, but then that's because you want to show the value of what your of your labor. There are some naman, I want to share this because I want to make this free because this is a labor of love, and I think it's important that other people get to enjoy it and see it for what it is. And maybe I can reach out to my audience easier that way. There are some who
Mm.
will price it at just maybe $1, $2 more because parang tip jar mo na lang ito,
Yeah,
you know.
that's called pay what you want,
Pay what you
want,
can,
or
or
pay what you can.
mm-mm.
And adjacent to that is patronage, like
Mm-mm,
Patreon,
Patreon.
right?
Patreon.
Or if you need support to complete the format you're working on, there's Kickstarter.
like I said, the internet has opened up many avenues and many iterations and combinations of funding. It really depends on what you're going to give. Now, to answer your question, Teacher Joy, about what to do with the material, we have to face the fact that we are drowning in media. This is the age where we're drinking from the fire hose of media.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. Not only are we able to access new material, but we are able to access material from the past. I am 58 years old, and I remember going around National Bookstore looking longingly at copies of The Odyssey or looking at Anna Karenina, all the classical books that now belong to the public domain. Okay?
Yung mga magaganda pa yung covers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, back then, I couldn't afford those books. They were expensive for a student on his allowance. But today, because they're on public domain, I can read all the books I've ever wanted
For free.
for free until I get to the paywall, right? So that's one of the things that you need to contend with when you create any media, and that means that the attention span of your audience might be narrower than it was 2 or 3 generations ago.
Of course, yes.
Now, right? So now what?
That doesn't mean to say that doesn't mean that you shouldn't make art anymore.
It just means that the motivation for wanting that to make that art uh, has to be more honest.
Yeah, it has to dig deeper than I just want to make money. Because I have to admit, I think you and I we're pretty much entrenched in our using art as a living. If you want, and I do have to quote Kurt Vonnegut on this. If you want to make money, don't go into art because walang pera sa art. However, that is if you go with art alone. And that's why if you do sincerely want to go into art, you have to dig deeper into that. Is it you go into art? There will be other creators who will tell you you go into art because it's like breathing. You can't not make art, you know? Or you go into art because it is good for your soul. Or you make art because it is important to your well-being. It is something you want to share with other people. So
if you want to have people read the material you make, then you will have to embrace the reality of marketing.
yeah.
Right? You will have to know who your audience is. You will have to know how to speak to them. You will have to know how to reach out to them and to gather them into a community. I personally believe that there's no longer any such thing as the mass market, which I think is a good thing. But there's the danger of locking yourselves into silos. So when your students make good stuff, and I know they will make good stuff, and you want the world to know about them, look for the platforms that will allow people to find them. And then maybe accept the reality that uh, the compensation for making these bits of media might have to be non-traditional at this point in time,
hmm
right?
But that's not gonna stay that way forever.
Yeah. So, bottom line, should they continue making books and art?
Yes.
Definitely yes.
Yes.
Should they look forward to being able to? That's in flux. There might be better ways that are in development right now. We cannot anticipate them. Should they look forward to making a living out of that? The market right now doesn't seem to be on their side, and that's our experience.
But that does not mean to say that it's something bad, you know.
Let me go back to saying though. Um, why art? Well, more than ever, this day and age allows us to make art easier. All right. Back in the day, you'd have to buy easels, you'd have to buy paints, you'd have to buy transfer things, you'd have to buy pens, right? And they take up space, they cost money, and if you make a mistake, you'd have to do them all over again. I'm speaking from experience. With Steam, I'm talking about digital tools, you can you can do a lot of things. I'm just amazed at how much easier it is to make art, how much easier it is to make games, how much easier it is to write books. You don't have to worry about retyping entire pages or redrawing entire panels. Just remember to save.
Yeah. We can actually share with you a list of a number of open source tools that we've come across and that we've enjoyed when it comes to making art and even games. So, a number of the programs that we featured in the video are pretty open source. So, there are actually tools online that you can use open source to create videos, to create even special effects that would match stuff you see on Marvel movies. There are even open source software that you can use to create cartoons or 3D animation or even comics. So ang dami po na pwedeng gawin.
The only gatekeeper that we experience right now is hardware. As much as we're happy with the free availability of the ecosystem of the internet, the one thing that we still struggle with is the cost of entry, which is buying equipment.
Yeah, that's
And we're hoping that somehow, some way, there will be movements that will, one, make very powerful equipment very affordable so more people can get them, and two, these things can be upgraded and repaired for free. So that's the other hope, right? There's still no democratization of technology, but I'm hoping that that will come across.
I'm sorry, I hope we were able to answer your question po, Teacher Joey.
Yeah, we
Thank
have to
you
wrap.
po. Thank you. The other kids might have a question.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
don't be discouraged, Tita Joy. I'm here to help.
I know. I know.
Okay, so we have questions here. Yung kanina
Sure.
sinend ko na. So I will read it, and then I actually our other experts who are here. Thank you guys for attending. The others cannot make it. So okay,
Always,
first
don't worry.
question. As a student As a student interested in digital arts and animation, I hope to have a career in it someday. I am aware that there is a huge competition and that is generally a broad field. So, my question is, how do I prepare, or which areas should I specifically focus on? That's
Okay.
from one of my students.
Make the way, love.
Okay. So the first your student wants to learn how to do animation. Okay, ideally first, um, matuto muna silang first anatomy, dig deep into your art basics. Okay, so that would mean lighting, shading, your anatomy, your color theory, and all that. And then later on,
All the
eventually,
things that I'm teaching.
yes, and then eventually your students will come to learn that they maybe have a favorite art style. Okay, and then once that happens, they can start learning some basics on animation like stretch and bounce and all that. I still have to learn how to do animation myself. Okay, but and then later on, your student may also want to explore different ways to animate because there's so many ways to do that now. We have, it's not just traditional hand drawn, we also have claymation or puppetry, or stop motion rather. Very painstaking work, but so worth it if it's done right. We also now have, of course, digital 3D work. We also have the painterly 3D animation. So you'll actually see a lot of different types of animation, of course, on Netflix. So, marami po. There are many different ways and even tutorials that your student can learn and study online. But I do sincerely think with whatever art discipline, it's always good to practice.
The one thing that I would recommend is don't chase trends. Be aware of them.
It's okay to be aware of them.
Draw draw artistic nutrition from them, but don't chase trends because uh, they change very rapidly, even more so now. Okay, the best you can hope for, and I think this is something to strive for, is to master the fundamentals to the point where you discover your own style and your own joy. There's nothing more sad than somebody who is a mechanical artist and just does things for a paycheck. Right? You can feel
Please
it. You
don't.
can see it.
Please don't. That
Right?
that is the quickest way to send yourself to a psychiatric ward.
Yeah. And you can feel the pain. But if you see somebody whose artwork is quirky, is interesting, and you end up feeling that you know the person by just looking at the animation or the art.
Yeah.
And I think that's the secret behind Pixar's success. It talks to you because they are allowed that leeway. Then I think that pays off. So just to recap, don't run after trends. Master your fundamentals. Discover your style.
We have a comment here. This is from Miss Neri Sekenya, who is our curriculum development head.
Yes,
She's
please.
asking, are the programs you mentioned open source?
Okay. Open source programs would be okay. Blender is very very open source. It's one of the programs I know a lot of my animator friends trust when it comes to creating 3D art, 3D models, and 3D animation. I also know that there's something called Inkscape, I think, or Ink Studio. That is the open source version of Adobe Illustrator. Let me see. One other program I use to edit videos would be Hit Film Express. Hit Film Express in the video po, in my video, is open source. Yun po, that's a good program to use to edit videos and create special effects. There will be certain packages you might have to buy to access certain effects. But then, ang maganda po nito is patingi-tingi siya. So, it's bit by bit siya. Let me see. Live 2D and I'm not sure about Unity. There are some aspects kasi about Unity that are open source and are some that are not. Live 2D needs a subscription. So, pero I think in fairness, it's actually very robust. Let me see. Tirano Builder is not open source, but it's only 450 pesos on Steam. So it's the price of what? One or two, dalawang Starbucks mo. So,
Yeah. Please ask your parents first, before you guys purchase things.
yeah.
I think Blender is what Gerard uses. So for those taking up our 3D club, that's with teacher Gerard. It is 3D.
Yep. I can
Okay.
Adrian and I can send you folks a list of other open source programs we recommend if that's something you're into. So you were
May,
saying-
may I make a recommendation to the faculty? Um, Instead of why don't you come up with a club whose only function is to find these open source software and to invite students to play with them and try them out.
because there will have these bits of open source software will have its strengths and will also have its weaknesses. So it doesn't necessarily mean na ay itong software na to maganda to or ay itong software na to pangit. It's more of this is why the way we say it is it's good if you want to do this and this and that, and not so good if you want to do this. So maybe you try this one instead. May mga recommendations kami.
I see a question from Facebook
This
user.
is from Miss Marie.
Okay.
That is a good point not to run after trends, but since technology advances rapidly, when or how often do we need to update ourselves not to the point of being too outdated already?
Here is something that a lot of people don't realize. Very rarely do we push against the limits of any given software. We are marketed for convenience. So when do we update our technology? When all of the open source software that we use fail to give us the outcome you want. If the open source technology that we are looking at requires us to get another generation software, generation hardware, then maybe you might want to consider that. But the question becomes, all right, I need to upgrade my core CPU in order to get just 2 or 3 features. Can I live without them? If the answer is no, then don't. That's just marketing. If you're able to squeeze every last bit out of your free software on your old machine
And still have something
good
that
work,
can be proud of.
yeah, then why should you upgrade? Keep in mind, these machines are supercomputers. These are fantastic things. It took its great grandfather brought a man to the moon and back, right? And these are considered more powerful than the crane machines back in the 1970s. So no, maximize it.
Yeah.
Maximize it. Don't jump on the bandwagon of changing your hardware and software. Ask yourself, if my hardware and software are not giving me what I want, should I consider that it's my skill that might be lacking?
Yeah. I
Right?
think this also calls into question. Kasi there are certain people, and I know, who go, I won't be able to make good art kasi hindi Mac yung laptop ko. Or kasi hindi Apple yung computer ko, I won't be able to make good art. The thing is, it's and here is where I will have to say, it's not in the tools, it's in the person. And quite often, really, yes, if you do have, granted, okay, let's say we give you these tools, but can your, what do you call this, will your skill be able to catch up, will it be able to match? So that's why we really endorse, squeeze out as much as you can first with what you have right now, value it, kasi ano yan eh, I think the best phrase I can think of right now is kaagapan mo yan in your journey as an artist or as a scientist.
My experience with Google Docs actually bears it out. I haven't been upgraded my machine, and I haven't bought software. I just use Google Documents, and Google has been improving their platform consistently. So I've been getting upgrades without even asking for it. Yeah, and not even
update.
Super.
So so why should I buy a new machine? Why should I buy software, right? I know I'm paying for it with my soul to Google, but I don't feel the pain yet. But meanwhile, while I can use it, I will use it.
All right. Grade 12 student JP agrees with you very certainly, Dow.
Okay.
And
I
then
think
we have
a question earlier.
Yes. This is from Miggy, grade 11. What are
Hi,
your
Miggy.
favorite forms of art?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
I think I can speak for the both of us when I say our favorite forms of art is the story. We are both storytellers, and anything that allows us to be better storytellers, we embrace. So that now that means the forms that they take. We are players of tabletop role playing games because it allows us to tell stories in a different way. The relationship dynamics of the table in the role playing game are very different from raconteur and audience, author and reader. Very, very different. And that gives us more insight into human relationships.
Yeah.
So uh, we are story. We love stories. That is our favorite art form, right?
And yeah, and what do you call this? In terms of visual art naman, Adrian and I have had our fair share of wielding the brush and wielding the pen and wielding. I use digital art mostly for my comics. He's very excited to give it a go, honestly. Uh, Let me see what else. We also love music whenever it's available to us. So yeah.
I will admit that I'm a great anime fan. I like anime as a genre, uh, as a as a cultural expression. I like the music uh, of it. I actually have a playlist that I listen to whenever I write. I like the irreverence of the animation and the stories and the style. And I have a soft spot for Miyazaki's art in my heart.
Yeah.
I personally enjoy creating videos. So yeah, that's why ganun kakulit yung video namin.
All right. Sierra Belinda says animation and music. She likes animation.
Good for you, Rebelinda.
Okay, Miss Neri asked again. I have subscribed to Doodly software program. It takes a lot of time to make a wonderful video. Do you have some tips?
That's out of my wheelhouse.
Okay, to be fair, Doodly is this is actually the first time I'm hearing of Doodly ha. Okay. Is this a Filmora product? I think it is a
Not
Filmora
sure,
product.
pero grabe ang AdSense sa Facebook.
Yeah. To be fair, kasi I also primarily use Filmora. It's it's a cute little powerhouse. Um, and I do share your pain. I'm sorry, who is the
Miss
what was the name?
Neri. Miss Neri, our curriculum development head.
Ayan, hi Miss Neri. I share your pain. I will confess that video took halos 2 days, 3 days to make. Halos walang kain tulog lang yung pahinga ko nun.
But you have to qualify that. A lot of that time was spent
Curating, yon.
right?
Yon.
Which might be a course you might want to look at.
Yeah. If you
Kailangan
want
Miss
to,
Neri will help. We're here to help.
yeah, we're here to help. We're here to help. I think if in terms of my if it's making a video like the way I did, it helps to have a library of stock footage. It helps to know what kind of music or what kind of vibe you want the video to have. Who is your audience? Who are you speaking to? Because the way you create your videos for high schoolers are gonna be different from the way you create videos for your teachers. It's gonna be different from the way you create videos for your family. Okay. If tama ba ako, Teacher Maita, na parang they ask if it's animated?
Oh yeah, storyboard's important.
Okay. If in terms of animation naman, yeah, I do agree with you. Storyboards are definitely important. Teacher Maita, I think you're yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Storyboards.
My dog kasi is maingay eh.
Okay, the bebe is okay.
Show
Yes.
us the dog. Show us the
Show us
dog.
the dog.
He ran away. I mean, he's hiding, but he's very noisy.
Okay. He wants attention. But yeah, storyboards are important for sure. Let me see. Please do not try to lose sleep over it. Okay. Try to pace yourself as best you can. Let me see what other tips can can I share? If you already have a good idea and you are confident about it, and you're almost at the end, and you feel like, I know I have to change this kasi baka hindi na magustuhan. That's okay. Don't languish so much over it because that is what will kill you. That is what killed me before. And
Keep in mind
yeah,
the perfect
perfect
is
is
the
the
enemy
enemy
of
of
the
the
good.
good. The perfect is the enemy of the good. Adrian has always had to remind me that over and over again. So, there will be times na naglulupasay na ako na, I didn't get the music I want, but if it's like music that, if I already have music that works, it might not be what I perfectly want, but if it works, that's fine.
Yeah, this is
So,
different from pwede na.
yeah,
This is good,
this is okay.
and I will leave it at that instead of making it perfect.
Yeah. So, in terms of animation, I wish I could give you more tips kasi I haven't like done animation
Oh
myself
my
yet.
God! Look at that question, love.
Okay,
Sorry, this is from Miggy. Miggy again. In art po,
Oh,
when do you
good.
think it is talent and when is it skill? For example,
Maybe
someone who graduated in fine arts, is it fit to still call
Ooh.
themselves talented?
Watch
What a
Blue
watch
complicated
Blue
Period.
question.
Period.
Watch,
Watch
please.
Blue Period.
Please watch the first episode of Blue Period on Netflix, or on, or if you very important.
Because that anime, and this is an example of how anime deals with
Real
culture.
world
It
issues.
actually it actually examines and elaborates that very question. And there is a video on the take for that, right?
Yep.
Okay. So instead of us answering that question, we invite you to watch the anime Blue Period. I think you'll find it very entertaining.
I think for the purpose of this segment, let's just summarize it very briefly.
All right,
Okay.
but watch the take on that as well.
We will send your teacher Maita the link to
Oh,
the
yeah.
video we're talking about.
We're on the same page.
Mwah! Perfect.
Okay,
And it's
another Anto, Ang family says, watch what title please. Miggy says, I love Blue Period.
yes, we will send you that particular video. Teacher Maita
Yeah.
will hopefully share it with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, these are actually my students.
Woohoo!
Grade
Okay.
11 and grade 12 students.
Okay. Okay. So there's this scene kasi where the protagonist tells his kohai, I think, or senpai, na, oh, you
Senpai.
senpai, you're so talented. And for beautiful. And for a while she says, I don't know how to feel about that when you say that. I mean, I know that you want to share this with me as a compliment. However, I had to work hard for this, eh. I had to work hard for this. And if somebody tells me that I'm talented, that kind of invalidates all the hard work I put in, or that does not acknowledge the hard work I put in. So this actually also calls to mind when I used to work as an art teacher in another art school. There would be, oh boy, there would be students who would come to us and say, teacher, please don't be mad ha kasi bobo ako sa art. And that would break my heart. That would really, really break my heart. Kasi,
I hate
nakikita ko naman,
those when they
I
put a disclaimer before they submit something. I've gotten
know.
those at the beginning and I told them, do not give me this
Yeah.
disclaimer.
And then, pero after a while, makita mo naman, they really make it a point to apply themselves to the lessons, no matter how difficult it gets. Na magkamali sila, they'll do it all over again, and they really dedicate themselves to it. Um, and their skill grows. There is market improvement. There is market growth, and they definitely also develop the way they see things, the way they see art. On the other hand, unfortunately, there are also students, and I will also say this because I used to be one of those people who will go, magaling naman ako eh, and unfortunately, because they have this mindset, that gets in the way of their learning. So what happens is, let's say for example, for the first student, teacher, sorry, bano ako sa art. Makita mo, akala nila ganun yung skill nila. But then every day nagpa-practice sila, umaakit na umaakit yung skill nila. Ang galing nila, And then the other one, henyo na ako, magaling na ako. Pero if their ego constantly gets in the way, there's not much improvement pa. So please don't let yourself get in the way of this. So
I have a couple of books that you might find useful, and this one's a bit tangential, but it contains material that you might find useful. The author is Betty Edwards, if it's not familiar, and it's the same book but expanded. Drawing, um, drawing on the right side of the brain and drawing on the artist within. Essentially, it's how to see, because Betty Edwards says everybody's an artist, but we let societal blinders and categories um, trick our brains into seeing those instead of seeing reality. So it's a good text for art. It's a good text for science. So Betty Edwards, you might want to take a look at those books.
also the second book.
Drawing on the artist within.
What about the artistry?
That one is more like a self-help book where you encourage yourself to be an artist. Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way. I personally found that very helpful.
So there you go.
May another comment here pero medyo existential.
Go!
I'm a philosopher by trade.
Si Miggy, this is from Miggy again. Medyo existential talaga siya mag-isip when it comes to art.
Go! We love those questions.
Yun nga po, do you think the oversaturation of the complement talent is harmful? When it comes to people who want to try out art, I observe na they get discouraged when they don't feel like they have the talent.
I believe, Maggie, that the word talent is a social construct,
Yeah.
just like the word lazy is a social construct.
It's please don't get mad at your parents. They love you very much. It's a term that they often use because, or some folks use because they don't know, they don't have the vocabulary to express themselves correctly, you know? And it's something that they lean on because it's something that they learn from their own parents, you know?
It's script.
Yeah.
Okay.
Parang, it's like, how often have we heard, ay, ang anak, ang talentado mo naman. You know? Pero they mean well. They mean well. It's just that they don't know how to be more eloquent, you know, about it or articulate about how they feel. And that's okay. That's not a failing. Okay? Now, going back.
If you want to avoid the pitfalls of the non-word or the non-concept of talent, you can consider it a non-concept. You could either say, I love your work. I love how it makes me feel.
I love the way you
I
use
love the
color.
color. No,
The lines are
you
so
own your reaction.
yeah.
Or if you want to compliment the person, I love the work you put into this. This was great. Thank you so much.
Another compliment would be this work reminded me so much of this strong memory I had with my mom, and they start sharing their stories with you. That is an enormous compliment, honestly.
And my experience is if art doesn't evoke conversation, as in commonalities and sharing, it comes across to me as just mere advertising.
When in terms naman of when you're on the receiving end of, oh, you're so talented, kalma lang. Deep breath.
You just look at the
You just
intention.
you listen to beyond the words.
Yeah.
And you just say thank you. You know, you appreciate the compliment, and if they want to continue the conversation with you, fantastic. If not, that's still okay. You receive the compliment.
It is not your responsibility to educate them.
Yeah. No.
So they are using that term because that's the term they know. Say thank you, and then see if there's a conversation. If there isn't, then move on.
Yeah.
Right?
In terms naman of, because I noticed maybe in your question something about how there are some people who get discouraged with art because they feel that they don't have the talent in them, or they're not gifted.
And
Air quotes.
And
you know?
This is also because there's this fear that there are gatekeepers of art.
Yeah.
Right? In the book Finite and Infinite Games by James Carson, he actually says art is kept in museums to protect people from it because art, as I said, provokes conversation. And if you and my personal experience of this statement is visiting the Spolarium in the National Museum. The very size of that canvas itself and the subject matter on the canvas is so moving that if it were displayed in a place like Divisoria or Plaza Miranda, people will start talking. But no, it is hidden away in a temple where it is surrounded by mysticism and people are expected to treat it like a sacred relic instead of a cultural legacy that must provoke conversation. So again, um, there are people who are afraid of these gatekeepers. The task here is to say I make art because I want to have a conversation with reality and the people around me, and I don't have to ask anyone's permission. And part of the construction of that permission is being talented.
In terms naman of learning how to art, okay? How do I art? How do I make art? Um, I will draw on my experiences as an art teacher, okay? Because I have had experiences of students who go, how do, parang, is this the only way you use watercolor, etc., etc.? Ang hirap-hirap naman. Like, a lot of people have this misconception na, ang hirap naman gumamit ng watercolor. I think it's more of, the way I did it before was, well, here are other ways you can use it. So it's not just one way of doing it. You can like, and here's where I go, okay, here's what it's like when you use it wet on wet. Here's how you do it. And then here's wet on dry. O, di ba? Iba yung effect. Okay, let's try it watercolor with salt. And then watercolor with alcohol. So you teach them how to be more comfortable with the medium and show them how it's not something to be afraid of. Does that help somehow? Now it's
It
really
does. If
um
ever, I will explain to him because medyo he has more follow-up questions, but I think these are more related to the our lessons na, so I can deal with that one na lang in
okay.
class.
So ayun lang, long story short, it's demystifying the art, it's demystifying it's making it more friendly, more familiar.
And just the last final thought. Uh, Art is a relationship. It's a relationship between the artist and your craft, and um, you're discovering techniques and you're discovering something about yourself. I noticed that art rewards patience
Yes.
and it rewards humility,
Yes,
which
very important.
are very very big things to swallow if you want to discover yourself.
Incidentally, patience and humility are also part of science,
Mhm.
because the humility of being able to accept that, oh, my earlier hypothesis was wrong. I found, and this is what my experiments, or this is what my the
Data.
data shows me. I must be humble enough to accept that I was wrong earlier and embrace what evidence shows. That is intellectual integrity. That's true humility.
And with that, we go back to STEAM. That's how STEAM works.
Yeah. We have another question, if it's okay with you, because it pertains
Go
to
for it.
games, or unless you want to break muna, because I have
Oh,
our.
Or 4 o'clock.
don't worry. We have maybe last two questions. Is that okay?
Sige, let's go straight to the
I hope
questions
this
na lang ano, and then we will show
I hope this is helpful.
our contest.
It is
Hindi
very
pa naman,
helpful. Very helpful.
hindi pa naman nagsasawa po.
Hindi naman po. Mukhang meron pang marami pang question. Okay, let's ano na muna here. In the making of video games, what are the main considerations How do the creators factor in art in making these games?
Okay. Can I draw on my experience with my previous company?
Definitely.
Okay. So
Actually, this is your wheelhouse, not mine.
okay. So I used to write for IGG. Essentially, IGG is the company that created the Android game dress up game Time Princess. I was part of the Philippine team to write stories for it. And essentially, what happens is first we do a pitch, so we throw in like our story ideas, and then the usually the Chinese department chooses the one they want the most, and then we work on that. So that's a ton of writing, and we also have to do research for it. So definitely that will come into play. The visuals. What kind of costumes will these people be wearing? What time from what time period? If it's a fantasy setting, what kind of world do they live in? Right? What kind of language do they speak? What kind of personalities do they have? So all of that are components of storytelling. And then later on, we also send our research pegs to the art team, who we also have a very robust art team here in the Philippines who create the costumes. They draw on inspirations for what the characters wear. If ever Teacher Maita, if ever you want, I can. Oh, what the heck! I can send
Capture
you.
a random dog.
Thank you. Energy boost. I can send you, Teacher Michael, some of the images that they sent us. Okay? Sa atin
Yes.
lang yan.
Yes, please.
And then after
I will
that,
share it to the class.
secret lang yan. And then after that,
Inside information.
they send it to another department who takes care naman of the 3D aspect. So the 3D department is in charge of they focus on, okay, the skirt, this particular skirt is made of this material, so it should move this way. Or maybe this the construction of this dress is a little heavier, so it won't move that much, and so on and so forth. So you, of course, you have music, you have other ways to animate it, um, and of course you have aspects of programming the gameplay. And I think pretty much aside from that, most of it is corporate stuff. Pero after that, and then there's the release. Does that answer your question?
I hope so. She will message na lang anda ano.
Okay.
Okay, last question. Is there something I can do now in relation to digital arts and multimedia that can help me earn slash save up for college education? What are the skills needed and how can I start now?
Well, for sure, definitely learn. If you don't have the tools right now, learn to do traditional art because the skills are the same. The way you hold the pen is the same. The way you look at things are the same. Learning to draw on the right side of their brain, color still the same. You know. So
How do you get to Carnegie Hall?
Oh.
Practice, practice, practice.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Practice.
So there you go. So first practice, and then once you have the tools, once you have your tablet or your computer, or if your folks somehow hit the lottery and get you a Cintiq, fantastic. Go and practice.
But if the question is about how do I earn money, there is an avenue you might want to explore, but take it with a grain of salt. Look at Upwork and Fiverr.
Yeah.
These are sites where workers, laborers, offer small us basically. We offer to do projects for affordable amounts. If you think about it, it was only now that people have access to talents at an affordable level. In the generation before, it would only be affordable to organizations and corporations, right? But now,
Oh,
because of the internet and the willingness of people to offer their services online for very, very small amounts, with very, very narrow foci, that you can actually get products done. And if you are willing to give this a shot, you could probably use this to get feedback and a bit of cash for your work. So you
There,
want to see if your animation is good, offer it up. Somebody gets your project, somebody gets you for their project. You have to make sure that this is where you learn the discipline of handling a project
and your time management,
and your time management,
your energy management
and
too.
your emotional management, and then see if you get paid, and if you'll have to be patient because the payment scheme is not immediate. All of that.
If you
Right.
want to work on a smaller scale naman and offer your services to your immediate environment, like your friends, your go see who you are able, your Facebook reach or your social media reach, you can offer commissions. So that's where, oh, I will, please, please here my see here my what I can do for you for a line art for a head. I can price it this way. If you want me to fully render your character from head to toe, it's this much. Another avenue you can also consider is coffee or
Yeah.
buy me a coffee.
buy
So
me a coffee. Yeah.
so there are lots of different ways you can go about it. Also, have your GCash details ready. Have your BPI,
That's
your
how you
Union
do it.
Bank. You
Now,
know.
again,
I think meron siyang GCash kasi this question is from someone who already won.
Woo! Good for you.
okay,
So
but
she's
keep in
gonna
mind,
get GCash
but
from
keep
our
things,
trivia games.
keep things in perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, keep things in perspective. The response to your projects are not you. So
Yeah.
keep your long term goals in mind, that you want to save up for college, that you actually want to start generating. For all you know, you're putting yourself out there, might attract somebody who will give you a project, or might be willing to support you on Patreon because it's been bound
And
to
be your
happen.
longtime patron.
Yeah.
So
So there
Or
are many.
offer you a scholarship.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
yes.
You would be surprised. The internet will connect you to people who you have not met. Everyone who will love you, and the internet will help you do that.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Janet and Adrian. Can we
Our
just send
pleasure.
you na lang other questions kasi mukhang marami-rami pa and the others naman hindi naman I don't think it's directed say I think directed to the other speakers. So
I hope this is.
yay!
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you
Thank you so
very
much.
much. Thank
Maria.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Anytime.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye and thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
So that was
So,
our speakers. What
yes.
time? Oh, Gerard was not able to make it. Siguro hindi pa natapos ang
Does
kanyang
he have a
meeting.
video? Did he send a video? No.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So we will play our our contestants. And actually, winners silang lahat. Winners silang lahat because once you see how great their costumes are, mapapawaw kayo. So let me
Talaga.
just explain the mechanics. So
Okay.
our steampunk Maria Clara slash steampunk Jose Rizal. So what is steampunk, which became kind of our theme ngayon? Not only because the name of our event is SteamCon, steampunk is actually a genre of fiction where it meshes together technology and history, in particular, the Industrial Revolution. So, right now, did you know, Tita Joy, we are in the fifth Industrial Revolution already?
Oh,
Parang
really
bilis, no?
interesting. Oh,
So we are in the fifth industrial revolution right now, and we want to see how far the students can interpret a genre. And of course, because we are in Catholic Filipino Academy, I've asked that they have to marry that with a Filipiniana attire. So they will interpret in their head what it would be like if Maria Clara or Jose Rizal was in the steampunk era. So, handa na ba kayo? Here are our winners and we will send them their prizes. And now, may we present our contestants for the Steampunk Maria Clara and Steampunk Jose Rizal. Entry number 1 is from Edwil Days Apolinar, grade 7, section C3. This is her take on Maria Clara. She is portraying a time-traveling Maria Clara, complete with her set. Entry number 2 is from Alicia Monte Alegre, grade 11, Arts. Alicia's take on Maria Clara is something more casual, especially when she is feeling like time traveling. Now her polo and her skirt was actually from her Lola, and the fingerless gloves she made out of socks. Our final entry is from Diego Alfonso Mendoza, grade 7. His inspiration is a combination of Rizal's characters, Simon and Crisostomo Ibarra. So this take on it is very unique. He has a barong de fuera underneath, and his accessories made out of brass he has made, and of course, to hammer in his point, he is holding a Noli Me Tangere book. By the way, the upper portion of his costume is inspired by Sherlock Holmes. All right, so we will have our intermission before we move on. Hintay lang po. Let me just play our intermission.
Minsan pakiramdam mo'y manipis ang iyong pag-asa. Malihim na amdo'y patuloy sa pagpapaasa. Huwag mag-alala, akong pupunas ng iyong mga luha. Sa likod ng mga ulap, bagong araw ay sisikat. Unti-unting bubuin muli ang mga pangarap. Nandito lang ako, hindi kita iwanan. At sa umaga, akong bukas ay naghihintay. Sama-sama sa agos ng buhay. Isipin mo na ang lahat ng ito ay bahagi ng pag-ikot ng mundo. Huwag bibitaw, huwag susuko, gamitin ang tapang sa iyong puso. At sa oras na malagpasan mo ito, sasaluduhan kita. Ligtas ka na. sakit at unos, pumagyumat, pumahawak kang matakot. Hindi ka naluluha. At sa gitna ng mga bagay na walang katiyakan, dahan-dahang lalampasan lahat ng mga harang. Nandito lang ako, hindi ka na masasawa. At sa umaga, ang bukas ay naghihintay. Sama-sama sa agos ng buhay. Isipin mo na ang lahat ng ito ay bahagi ng pag-ikot ng mundo. Huwag bibitaw, huwag susuko, gamitin ang tapang sa iyong puso. At sa oras na malagpasan mo ito, isipin mo na ang lahat ng ito ay bahagi ng pag-ikot ng mundo. Huwag bibitaw, huwag susuko, gamitin ang tapang sa iyong puso. At sa oras na malagpasan mo ito, sasaluduhan kita. Likas ka na, likas ka na.
Wow! Grabe ang talent, di ba? Grabe ang talent nila. So thank you, Mackie. We have one more song. We'll play that song mamaya after we have a trivia, di ba? So, trivia muna. Thank you. By the way, if you have more comments for our or questions for our speakers, even the speakers who weren't here for our panel discussion, they weren't able to get here. I think they got stuck in a meeting. Not sure if they're all in the same meeting, because people in the industry magkakakilala. So yeah. Anyways, so thank you very much, Jonette and Adrian. So they are my very good friends, and they have been in the industry, in the writing community, the game community, contents community, multimedia, and animation. So they are everywhere.
And they're very passionate.
Yes.
Very passionate about what they do.
Tita Joy, did you know we still have some more trivia?
Okay, let's go for it.
Okay, this one I think you will love this. Okay, the same mechanics apply. Pabilisan. In case I don't know, kasi ang lumalabas here, nakalabas lang Facebook user, and I have to go to the three CFA groups to track down your names. So ganito na lang. When you answer, please put your name beside your answer para makita natin who answered first. Okay, so our first question pertains to technology. Ahem. What was the name of the first computer programmer? What was the name? Clue. She's a girl.
Girl. Okay.
She's a girl.
Yeah. Yes.
I think na-share ko na po yung TikTok video na ito sa inyo. All right. So, the name of the first computer programmer? Hint, she is a girl.
Okay, we have a winner.
Alicia. Is
Alicia.
Alicia Monte Alegre. Okay, our winner. Our one of our winner for the costume contest. Thank you. Let me write your name para hindi natin makalimutan.
Galing naman ng mga bata. They read up
Yes,
on their
alam niyo yan, no?
own.
Don't worry guys, hindi pa tapos, meron pa. Ito ha, pabilisan ulit. Answer and then your name please. Ahem. Which popular company designed the first CPU, Central Processing Unit of the computer? The first
I don't know.
CPU. Okay, somebody says thank you. You're welcome. So, all right. Who is or who designed? Okay. Who designed the first CPU? Hala, nag-google na silang lahat. Oh, we have our winner. Correct. It is Howard.
Finally, it's Howard.
Howard, you won. Okay, so, okay. Si Alicia. Sorry, Alicia, nauna na si Howard. Okay, okay, okay. Ito, yung mga winners, pause muna kayo ha. Give chance to others naman. Pagka naman may ano naman sila. May ma-win naman sila, okay? All right. Here. This question pertains to STEAM. This is a very STEAM topic and it's a very current topic. So, marami sa inyo, you might know this. You might know this. All right. Ahem. The question is, when was YouTube founded? Year. Give me the year.
Oh
when
my
was
gosh.
YouTube founded? Bilisan yung pag-Google. Hirapan sila. When was
Ganun lang pala yun?
Wala pa rin.
Nahanap ko na yung answer eh. Nag-google ko na rin yung answer.
Yes. Wala. Masyado bang mahirap?
That's impossible. Hindi. Ayan.
Merong
Angelica.
All right. Okay, Angelica, what is your last name? Let me see where you are from. She is from the... Wait lang ha, sorry. Oh, Angelica Rapsing. Let me write your name. Angelica. Alrighty, okay. So, founded in 2005, sold to Google the next year. Ito ang ating next question. How much did Google buy YouTube in 2006? How much did Google buy YouTube? Dati yung price niya was, now it's one of their most lucrative investments, earning them around $22 million every day.
Wow, every day. Wow.
In ad revenue. So, magkano ginasto ni Google when they bought YouTube?
Sulit na sulit. No?
Very sulit. So, I wonder kung magkano yung ano. I wonder kung nagets nila magkano to. Angelica again! Yes, they bought it for $1.65 billion. And kita nyo naman, it's the most lucrative investment that they have ever bought. But akala ko give chance to others. Pinagalitan nila. Okay, sige. Next one. Ano naman? The next one, give chance to others na ha. Okay, all right. Kanina, we talked about how much was the most expensive painting sold. Now, this question is how or what is the highest insured valued painting in the world and up to date in history? So there is a difference in the art world of insured value and sold value. So one, oh, is that mine? Something is ringing. Sorry, somebody is calling.
Oh, really? Hmm.
Okay, so sorry. How much, or should I say, what is the most expensive insured value?
Value, hindi what is the most expensive painting insured?
Painting, the value of the painting.
The
What is the
value.
most insured paint or pinaka-expensively insured valued painting in the world? Here is a clue. It's the same artist. Now you know he's the most expensive artist in the world. Give chance to others, guys. In my art class, Alicia, sabi na nga ano, give chance to others. Ito talaga. Sinabi na niya. Anyways, all right, okay. So, okay, one a
How
minute.
much? How much? Oh,
Okay,
yun na.
let's talk. Yun na lang, yun na lang. Huwag mo nang sagutin, Alicia. Alam ko na, alam mo nang magkano to. We took this up in class. How much? How much is Mona Lisa insured? I need the 2020 figures. Tingnan natin. Para fair kami ni Angelica dalawa. Ito talaga. Iba naman, please. Iba naman. How much is Mona Lisa insured? Oh, wala pang ano, sorry. Somebody is messaging me. Alam mo, our work is never done. All right. Wala. You mean to say yung mga ano ko lang, mga students ko lang alam?
Oo.
All right, all right.
Hindi namin niya tinuturo sa science eh.
So just so you guys know, the value, the insured value is at $860 million. That is how much the Mona Lisa is insured. In other words, if it gets stolen, vandalized, destroyed, flooded, something, whatever happened to the Louvre, the institution of the Louvre is going to get what's this insurance money, and the insurance money is usually different from how much you paid. Kasi the insurance, that's how you pad art. That's how you make art expensive, di ba? At least ngayon, Tita Jai knows how to make things expensive. You buy something, let's say you buy Mona Lisa at $100 million, and every year you pay the insurance and paakyat ng paakyat ang insurance value. So
Oh, kaya
next year you will pay an insurance deductible of, let's say, good for 120 million. The next year after that, 160 million. Next year, and then before you know it, it's $860 million na,
Oh my goodness.
making Mona Lisa one of the most expensive artwork in history.
Imagine if that
Based
is
on
your
insurance value.
artwork, no? Your STEAM work. Oh my goodness.
Yes. So
You're
guys,
rich.
make NFTs. That's how you make some money quick. Yeah. So you can make your own NFTs, and there are sites where you can sell them. However, unfortunately for you students, I think you need to be 18 years old for you to
Oh.
sell. Kasi there are some legal stuff that's
Put it
happening
in
those.
the name of your mom or dad.
Yes, yun lang. You have to put it in the name of your mom or dad. They will have control of your assets, especially if that NFT sold millions. So I think the most expensive NFT sold to date is $60 million for one NFT. So it's not even like if you see it, it looks like pop art. But you know how art is, the more people want the art, the more expensive it goes. So it is sold via auction. So it's sold at $60 million. And there, kung nagka-milyones kayo for your artwork, controlled muna ng parents niyo until you reach 18. So to be fair, pwede niyong magamit yan for college or you can give it
Mm-mm.
to your parents as thank you for raising you guys up.
And if you decide to write a book, okay, you get royalties. It's like
Yes.
planting a tree. So when you write a book, you like planting a seed and it will grow every year you harvest the royalties. Yeah. So if you write a book, you get
Yes.
15% as the author. 15%. So if it sells for 100 pesos, you get 15 pesos for every book that is sold. But you get that at the end of one
Unless
year.
you're on Amazon. In
It's different for
Amazon, baliktad
Amazon.
po. You get 70%. Yes,
Whoa,
I
really?
get 70%.
Oh,
Yes
oh
po.
my
That's why I
goodness.
like to publish on Amazon. Controlled ko po siya.
Okay,
But I
you
have
will
to get
teach
my own
us.
editor. Yes, I have to do my own book cover art. That's
Oh,
for a different
cover art.
topic, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Oh,
that's for
you
a
can
different topic.
volunteer. You can apply, Teacher Maita.
Yes.
You need an
Alrighty. So,
editor.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. There are so many things that we can do ngayong Steam. We can all collaborate and we can do a lot of things. Kanina, our writers did say na there are so many avenues and so many ways for us to present our students' work. So we can publish them on Amazon, pero ganun ulit, you need somebody 18 years old or and above to get published there. So if you are one of those young writers, you guys remember Christopher Paolini? He was the writer of the Aragon series. He was only 15 years old when he published. So his parents became his manager, and he even got a movie deal out of that. So
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
So you
Amazing.
guys could be the next young writers. Pabata po ng pabata ang ating writers. And there are so many avenues and not just traditional. Amazon has opened the doors. Then we have Gumroad. Gumroad is you can actually publish anything in Gumroad. Books, games, videos. And then what happens is people can pay whatever they like. So let's say, hi, I have a book. How much do you think a book on science will cost? I wrote it and made it myself. And some people who would like to, support you, they'll say, oh, I really like to support these young writers. I will give them $5 for the book. And that is how Gumroad works. There's also Patreon. Patreon naman is like subscription. Every month you give the artist $1 or $10, depends how much uh, your patron is generous towards you. But there are so many avenues right now that touches the Steam category, and not just that. Even what Adrian said, itch.io, you can publish there. Steam, if you do your own games. I know a lot of our students here in CFA do play a lot of Steam games. Content is king right now. So, tayo, Tita Joy, we are getting our students to make content.
Good.
Yours for the sciences, mine for fiction writing and the arts.
Yeah.
Yes. So we
Okay.
have one more what's this
Presenter.
yes, ano po, song
A song.
by
Okay.
our very talented JHS students. So this is from Sophia and sorry, Kimberly and Sophia. And then after this, do we have time pa for one more? What's this? Yeah, I think we have after this one we have time for one more trivia game, and then we have to have our closing remarks na, and then because we will have our space tour. So
Yes.
stick around, guys, for our space tour. So
We're
let
going
me
to go to
share.
the moon and
Not
back.
just the moon, also the International Space Station.
Correct. Yes.
Yes. So here we have Kimberly and Sophia. Yes. So thank you, girls. Thank you, JHS.
Thank
So
you very
that's
much. Beautiful.
our entertainment from our JHS teachers. Ang mga teachers ang nagpadala sa atin nung kanilang mga different what's this wonderful performances. Napaka-talented, di ba? Thank you. Thank you. So kasi last literary week when we had our event, ang SHS mostly ang nag-perform. So this time, ay hindi, JHS pala rin. So medyo ano tayo, di ba? We are trying to get events na both JHS and SHS combined. So thank you very much. Mm. Tita Joy, one last
One
trivia.
last trivia. Okay, here we go. Science?
Science.
Okay.
Pabilisan. Pabilisan,
Pabilisan
guys.
Okay, pabilisan kids Let's go.
Okay,
We
so
can
one
do
last na lang. I'm
this.
sorry, one last. One last na lang siya. All right, okay. This has something to do with climate and climate change because it's very much endangered ngayon eh. Ahem. The question is, what is the
Uh-oh.
permanently frozen ground? What is the term? What is that term? Permanently frozen grounds are called blank.
That's the lesson in grade 11 Earth Science.
Yes. And if it's actually starting to melt na ngayon.
Oh.
And we are very, very much endangered because global warming.
Yes.
So what are these things that are not supposed to melt but they have been melting?
Mm-hmm.
Clue. Most
What
of
did
it
you
is found in Russia, not in Iceland, in Russia.
What's the question again? What is the term for
Permanently frozen grounds.
permanently frozen?
Hindi na nila alam. Science question na siya. Biglang
Aray ko po.
napakamot sila.
Permanently frozen.
Shh, Tita Joy. Inaano nyo na.
Wala ba akong grade 11 dyan na Earth Science?
Meron. Earth Science, not Earth and Life.
No,
Hindi. Ito
no.
kasi sila mga Earth and Life eh.
Lagot kayo kay Tito Roy.
Hindi nila masagot. Okay, it will end in 5, 4,
3,
2, 1.
2.5. 1.
Wala.
Zero.
Ayaw.
Aray.
Okay, so the answer is permafrost.
Yun, sabi nga, permanently frozen.
Hindi nila na-gets.
Permafrost.
So guys, it's melting na. We are nearly doomed unless we find out how to solve our
problem.
Diba?
Okay.
Either solve or cope. Plant more trees. Plant more stuff. Kahit sa garden, kahit urban gardening.
Okay. Next question.
Wala na po, ubus na.
Ay, ubus na. Oh my
Ubus na
goodness.
po.
O, paghatian na natin yung
so,
ano.
Bibilangin natin ilan yung how much I owe people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ay, merong nagsagot. Sorry, hindi ko nakita.
Ay, meron nga.
JP!
Oo. JP at
Alright,
4:58.
I'll write your name here. Student ko to eh. I think you are my student, right? Yes, you are. Thank you. All right.
Congratulations.
So that concludes our trivia.
13 na.
Trivia.
13 na.
13. Yep. Naubos na ang biglang magko-compute na ako ngayong gabi. All right. And then we will also send the winners of our little game kanina. So they will get 50 pesos while everybody in the trivia will get 20 pesos each. Yay! So I'm sad to conclude our event. But don't worry, this is not the end. As I said kanina, this is just the beginning. Di ba, Tita Joy?
Exactly.
We will have more and more activities where STEAM is at the forefront.
Yes.
Because every industry right now is all about STEAM, even
Yes,
business.
correct.
Yes. So I will play your closing, Tita Joy,
And
and
then
then
after that,
we will have our space tour. So please don't go away. We have our space tour right after this.
okay, congratulations to our STEAM winners. You have amazed us with your ability to let your talents project a unique view of STEM education. What is steam? In science, steam is water in its gaseous phase. As water is boiled, and as it reaches that temperature where water molecules can break loose from each other, that now uplifts water as vapor, and that is your steam. But in our context, STEAM is arts combined with STEM. And its inclusion of arts, it is that inclusion of arts that elevates our STEM education to hone some skills that transform you from simple curators of science knowledge into creative and imaginative problem solvers and change makers. These skills can help you pursue artistic professions alongside your STEM undertakings, especially where art and STEM find their common ground. Get into the art of bringing together your life's experiences and learnings and create something new. I somehow can illustrate this with my joy ball surprise. I creatively mix leftover food in the refrigerator with some rice and seasoning and marine wine, and I roll them into bite sized balls and onto shredded seaweeds, and voila, you have a tasty baon of joy ball surprise. And as Steve Jobs says, he believes that creativity was about recognizing how a product had been put together, then thinking how that product could be upgraded and improved to create something new. The idea of connecting things was the way Jobs explained how he had mastered personal computers, mobile phones, and later movie animations. And arts can give you your brain a break from a just STEM mindset. Continue to dream and blend those dreams with your STEM learnings and make them inspiringly amazing for others through your work. And even God brings out his art in the sunrise and the sunset, the night lights and the celestial bodies, and the flowers and the trees, which began as seeds, and the mountains and the seas. And God is also an artist, and He made us in His image. And there is an artist in all of us. So let your stem get into a steam. Good day and congratulations. Good job. Well done.